You know, superhero movies are not. Back then, I remember the golden age of superhero parody movies. And no, I don't mean superhero movie. I mean superhero parodies. You know, like The Incredibles, which was a really good, with Megamind, which was good, and Super, which I thought was really good. But no one knows Super, so let's move on. But there's one movie that stands out above the other rest. Well, except maybe Super, because there is one superhero movie that stands out above all the rest, except for, like I said, Super, because I think Super is way better than this movie. It's called Kick-Ass. Now, I haven't seen people talk about Kick-Ass lately. Like when I was like 2 years old, Kick-Ass was like the movie. When I was not like 2 years old, but when I was a little kid, Kick-Ass was like the movie. Like everybody at my school were like, "Hey yo, have you seen Kick-Ass with your dad? No, have you seen Kick-Ass?" My cousins talk about Kick-Ass. You know, Kick-Ass was airing at the TV, and my dad will watch it. But it was only like the middle part, so he doesn't really know how the beginning went. Oh God, oh the beginning of the movie. So anyway, Kick-Ass follows Dave Lazinski, which is your average quirky teenager who thinks that superheroes should be, who thinks that people that there should be superheroes and thinks it's not that difficult. So he dons a scuba suit and mask and batons, and calls himself Kick-Ass and tries to do good and protect the city. Now, before I go with my positives with this movie, let me just go with my negatives with this movie. My biggest negative with this movie, like the one problem that I have with this movie overall, is that every single time when a character is in peril, it's always so well timed. Like how do I say this? Whenever Kick-Ass is at Razul's place, I think that's his name. Um, he's about to get beaten up, but oh no! Before he gets beaten up, Hit Girl shows just in time. What do you know? Or whenever Kick-Ass gets kidnapped and about to be exploited on live TV and is about to get unmasked next with Big Daddy, played by Nicolas Cage. What do you know? Hit Girl comes around and saves the day. Or whenever Hit Girl was about to get killed by Mark Strong, what do you know? Kick-Ass arrives just in time with a jetpack and comes around. No, not by Mark Strong's character. When she's about to get gunned down by Mark Strong's goons, he comes out just in time with a jetpack and a minigun. And oh, like when Hit Girl's about to get killed by Mark Strong's character, Kick-Ass brings out just in time with a bazooka. Like this movie, every single time when someone is in peril, it's always so well timed. Like, how did you know they were about to get like? How did you know they needed saving? Or how did you know? How did you know when they were gonna get killed? Or why didn't you arrive earlier? Why didn't you arrive later? See, that's my problem with this movie. It's so well timed. Yeah. My other problem with this movie is that ah. My other problem with this movie, how do I say this? They found Dave without his costume and everybody thinks it's gay. I thought that was really unnecessary, and I didn't think it was funny. And you're like, oh, it's because you have no sense of humor. I can take a joke, this this kind of weirded me out. And Dave could literally just say at any moment, I'm not gay, but he does it whenever he invades this girl's home, and I thought that was kind of weird, you know. And no, I'm not gay. I'm not part of LGBTQ and nothing like that. It's just I think that was just kind of unnecessary, you know. Like, oh, she thought he was gay, but he's not. He actually likes her. Duh duh duh. And I just don't think it's. I just don't think it's like that. I just don't think it's funny, you know. Now, those are actually all my negatives with the movie. Oh wait, I forgot. Is it just me or this movie like sexually weird? Like I know that's what their premise is because he's a teenager, but I just feel kind of weirded out. And I can handle some nudity, some sexuality, but I just got weirded out by this movie, you know. And I know there's only like two scenes of this like going on, but I just felt kind of weirded out, you know. Now, what are my other negatives with this movie? I just thought it was kind of douchey that they made no that they made Chris at the end say, like a wise man said, this quote, and then I was like, oh, they're doing the cliffhanger thing. What if they don't make a Kick-Ass 2? I'm not a fan of cliffhanger endings. I don't think they're bad, but I'm just not a general fan of it. And then they made him another villain, like, but he's not even the main villain in the sequel. So really, what was the point of that scene anyway? All right, so now for my positive with this movie. My positive with this movie is that some scenes did get a chuckle out of me. See, I can take a joke. My favorite joke of all is whenever this dude is trying to, like, whenever David is like, I gotta tell my girlfriend that I'm kick-ass, and he's like, and then she has her freaking hair dryer that is like as loud as a rocket in takeoff, and says, I'm kick-ass, and then he goes closer and he's like, I'm kick-ass, and then she freaking sprays him, and he's like, ah. I just thought that was funny. Another thing that I like is how another thing that I really like about this movie is Chloe Grace Moretz as a role as Hate Girl, because she's just profane, she's just mature for her age, badass kicking ass little girl that is actually that is surpasses kick ass. And I think that's just kind of funny. Like a 9-year-old is far better at combat than a 16, 17-year-old, and she's trained under Nicolas Cage. I just thought it was a funny premise. Also, that scene where she kills those people at Rasul's place with the banana splits theme song playing. Ah, that was good. I mean, missed opportunity to put the Fall Out Boys version of the banana split song. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Fall Out Boy is the band that made Remember Me for centuries. You know that song? Google Fall Out Boys. And also they did the song of that. My songs know what you did so light 'em up. You know that song? I bet none of you. I bet those are the only songs you know by Fall Out Boys. Search out Fall Out Boys banana split song. It is out there. The main vocalist of Fall Out Boys, I believe, he also made the score for the Banana Splits horror film. Go on YouTube or Google. search up Fall Out Boys Banana Splits thing. It freaking rocks. But anyways, I just think the scene of Hit Girl killing all of Rasul's like party members was cool and really well done. Also, her relationship with Nicolas Cage in this movie as father and daughter, don't get that out of context, you weirdos. I really liked her father-daughter relationship in this movie. I thought it was really well done, and to the point where I actually felt bad for her whenever she lost him. Like, I know when movies have like a parent dying, you're supposed to feel bad for them, but this one I genuinely felt bad for them. Like, I wanted to give them a hug. Any other positive with this movie? Yeah, I thought this movie was funny. I thought it had great performances. I thought it had a great script, great jokes. I especially loved McLovin in this movie. So yeah, I give this movie an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. And now I know I introduced a not serious scale, which I would also give it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, Kick-Ass, it does have its problems, but I still find it an enjoyable, fun film that just happens to involve superheroes. But we all know what's better. Now, I know there's a tie between this. I know there's something going online that really surprised me. Kick-Ass or Super by James Gunn. Because Super really isn't well known, but it isn't until right now where it's becoming sort of well known. Not really well known, but check that movie out. It's on Tubi for free with ads. And personally, I think Super is way, way, way better than Kick-Ass. But I rather like rewatch Kick-Ass. Rewatch Kick-Ass rather than Super. Because Kick-Ass is like the more rewatchable version of Super, and Super is like this movie. It's kind of like The Dark Knight. You watch it because of you watch it not just because the action, but also because the heavy themes. You know, you don't watch it because it's a fun, not just because it's a fun movie, but also because it has a lot of heart in it. But sometimes you just can't handle these times of hardship, so you watch Kick-Ass and have a laugh out of it. You know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, next up, the super review. I'm just really cranking out these superhero movie reviews. Am I right? Yeah, I got Batman. I got Batman left. Eh. What am I doing with my life? Why the hell do you walk like that? Also, this is a custom character I made in this game. Can't find him in the roster.